because I believe Joe Biden, Kamala Harris presidency is going to save lives.
With all the racial tension going on in America, everything we got going on, bigger than ever, and you running the campaign or one of his senior advisors, why do you trust Joe Biden so much for you to step out at this point with all this going on to say, this is my guy and this is who I want to support?
Well, first, Joe, let me just say thank you for having me on tonight. It is just a pleasure. We see you. We appreciate everything you're out here doing. And I'm so glad you asked this question, because I am here for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, and I feel honored to work on this campaign in this moment, because I believe Joe Biden, Kamala Harris presidency is going to save lives of Black and brown people in this country, and Asian American, Pacific Islanders, and white people, and Native folks, Indigenous people. I believe that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are right for this moment. You know, as folks know or may not know, in 2016, I used to work for Senator Sanders. I was his press secretary when he ran for president. And as everyone knows, Bernie Sanders ran for president again this time around, along with like 20 other people, 24 actually. And I have worked for Joe Biden from day one of this campaign. And I'll tell you, I met with a lot of people that were running for president or anticipating to run for president. And I sat down with all of them. I used to work for Senator Sanders. So I made the decision, though, to go with Joe Biden, because when I sat down with him and he talked to me about why he was running for president, what he was seeing from the White House, an abuse of power, this division of race in this country, the president saying there were good people on both sides in Charlottesville, he, in my opinion, correctly diagnosed what America was going through. He said he's in this to restore the soul of the nation. I was like, I think Joe Biden has it right. Now, as we sit here on Zooms and IG Lives across America, obviously, it seems like a no-brainer that we need to restore the soul of this country and rebuild the backbone. It wasn't like that a year and a half ago. So I believe Joe Biden understands. I believe, now, does he have it 110% right, Joe? No, who does?
Nobody.
Who does? But he's willing to listen. He is empathetic, and he is the leadership I believe America needs.
Okay, Symone, it's almost like we're born as Black and brown people, born into the Democratic Party. Since I was a kid, my mother, my grandmother, my grandfather told me, you're a Democrat, don't ever vote Republican. They took me to vote when I was a kid, as soon as I was 18. And I'm not even gonna lie, I voted already for Joe Biden and Harris, but I also voted, I'm down in Miami, for everybody Democratic. Some of them I didn't even know. Like some people going for certain judge jobs or whatever the case may be. And the issue of, ever since George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, systemic racism has been brought to the forefront to where people are starting to question all type of things. So we got a brother that we love and we trust, like Ice Cube, that's talking like, you know, he don't know, maybe he's feeling Trump or whatever the case may be, because they feel almost as us being brown and Black, we automatically vote Democratic no matter who's going for it. Why is this different? What is the change that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris is going to do? Because this is our 60s. This is 1960. It's 2020, but it's 1960. And even deeper than 1960, you've never seen more people in the street talking about Black Lives Matter. Asians, whites, Latinos, Blacks, unified together. What kind of changes is Joe Biden and Kamala Harris willing to make so we can finally say, hey, we got our just due?
Such a good question. Well, first, let me say, we want to earn folks' votes, Joe. And I know that you have been plugged in and you know the policies and whatnot. But the reality is, everybody out there, you're what I like to call a professional politico, okay? Like, you are plugged in, you watching the news, you know what's going on. But everybody in our community is not. And I think that's why it's so important that we have conversations like this, that our campaign and Joe Biden and Senator Harris are out there in the community talking with people, taking their questions. And That's what we've been doing. So let me tell you what's going to change, what will be different. I want people to understand the numbers. Since March, 1 in 1,000 Black people in America have died from COVID-19. By the end of this year, the number is expected to be 1 in 500. Unemployment, as you know, the president of the United States likes to say, unemployment for Black people is, the lowest it's ever been. It is still twice that. The unemployment of white people in this country, and is not below 10%. Unemployment for Latinos is even higher than that. When we talk about young people, unemployment for young Latinos is at like 27%. So we have to level set and understand where we are. And so what does that mean about what Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are going to do? Well, that means if they are elected, they have to do some work on the economy. We have put out a racial equity plan specific to the economy. It's called our Build Back Better Racial Equity Plan. And under that plan, we talk about the investments that we will make in Black, Latino, Asian American, Pacific Islander, and Native American communities, specifically in terms of manufacturing, in terms of access to capital. We are going to create restart the Biden era program so that when we talk about these PPP loans that are supposed to go to small businesses, that we know Black and Latino small businesses were at the bottom of the list, at the back of the line. We are going to create a program so that a percentage of funds, like a PPP program, will be set aside for businesses owned by people of color, specifically Black and Latino, because the majority of those businesses have less than 50 employees. We are going to do a $15,000 advanceable tax credit. What does that mean? That means automatic $15K for anybody that wants to buy a home. First-time home buyer. Hello. I am living in a very cute condo, but I need about $15K. Okay, as a first-time home buyer. That, for so many Black and Latino people, the wealth is in their homes. Joe Biden is going to take a look at, let's talk about credit, okay? He's gonna take a look at how credit agencies currently are reporting and adjusting and asserting folks' credit. And Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are going to ensure things like paying rent, paying your phone bill under a new credit agency count towards accumulation of credit. That is something that they can do, creating a separate agency to do that. So those are just a couple things. We're going to do $70 billion to historically Black colleges and universities. One, for infrastructure in those universities. Two, to ensure that they have the resources that they need. But $15 billion out of that is going to be taken to build these incubators on the campuses of HBCUs to connect them with, these are going to be partnerships between companies and some nonprofits to capitalize on the jobs of tomorrow. We're talking about our engineers, cancer research, everything. HBCUs are educating our brightest, our brightest folks.
Yeah. Yeah.